Hey, J&D gang, welcome back to the Job Not Done podcast. I'm Jackson Hogan, and today I want to talk about something that quietly separates the average from the elite and the 1%. It's not talent, it's not motivation, and it's not even how hard you work. It's this. Are you proactive or reactive? Because most people, they live in reaction mode. When something happens in their life, then they react. They react to their mood, they react to their circumstances, and they react to setbacks. They react when things go wrong. But disciplined people, the 1%, the elite, they move first, they decide first, they prepare first. And that difference compounds over time.
Look, came from nothing but hunger, turn priceless, dreams so big, may fear turn to
Reactive living is easy to justify. It's the mindset of, I'll study when I do this. So for example, I'll study when I feel focused. I'll train when I feel good. I'll fix my diet after this week, after this day. I'll start when things calm down in my life. That's reaction, and that's what's going to put you behind. And that's what's going to make you average or even make you below average. You're waiting for the environment around you to cooperate, and you're not dictating your environment. But here's the problem. The environment rarely cooperates with you. Life will always give you something, whether that's fatigue, physical and mental, stress, inconvenience, small injuries, or schedule changes. If your standards depend on ideal conditions, you do not have a standard. Like you don't even have a baseline for your life. You just have a preference. And if your discipline depends on how you feel, it's not discipline, it's just convenience. It's just making it convenient for yourself and not actually doing shit about it. And that's because proactive people decide before emotion shows up. They decide before things go wrong. They plan before things go wrong. And things can still go wrong, but being proactive helps you in the future with situations that may be similar. Being proactive means the decision has already been made, or you have already put a plan in place, or you have already put strategies in place. And if you don't know, I just launched my business, which helps you guys do that, right? We'll sit down, we'll talk about things. Free consultation. And I can give you just pointers there. And you don't even have to buy anything. Literally, I can help you without you having to purchase anything. But the point is, you don't wake up and ask, do I feel like it? You say, let's go get it. Let's fucking do this. Let's grind. As an engineering student, deadlines don't move because I'm tired. As someone building a business, like I mentioned, content doesn't create itself. I got to make at least one piece of content a day. Some are better than others, and some I put more time into others, like my podcast clips. I would say that I put more time into those, but I'm consistent. We've talked about consistency many times. And as someone training as an athlete, right, after college, I want to get into ultra marathons and high rocks. Workouts, they don't happen accidentally. They don't happen, just because I'm feeling like it. Proactive living looks like scheduling those study blocks, scheduling that time, putting aside that time before you're overwhelmed. Planning training on the Sunday before a week so your life doesn't get chaotic. And another thing is you're going to have to adjust your workout when you're hurt instead of quitting. That's what I had to do today. Because this last week, my feet were killing me. Fucking hurt to walk the entire week. And my scheduled training for Saturday was to run 5 miles. But if I run 5 miles, I'm going to possibly injure myself. But I told myself, what can I do? What can I adjust in order to still get roughly equivalent training? I rode 7,000 meters. I went to the gym and I rode 7,000 meters. And it was awesome. It felt like pretty close, a little bit less involved in the legs, and it put a lot less strain on my body so that I can keep up with my goals. That's proactivity. Reactivity would be saying, I'm not going to do 5-mile run equivalent workout. I'm just going to walk on the treadmill. You're not putting in the work and you're not getting the results. And that's because you're being proactive and not reactive. Reactive people will have a mindset that says, guess this week's done. Guess this week's over. I guess I'm fucked. I guess I'm screwed. I guess I'm not going to get in. I guess I'm not going to make the team. You have to fucking push that mindset away and say, as a proactive person, what is the equivalent? So instead of 5 miles, right, I rode 7,000 meters on a rowing machine. It's the same standard, but it's a different execution. You have to set the same standard for yourself. And sometimes you're going to have to fucking execute differently in life because life's going to throw a bunch of fucking shit at you that you're not going to be expecting. I know for day to day, at least for me, and I'm sure for a lot of you out there, especially you watching this video, there are tons of times where life just says, hey, motherfucker, take this shit. I'm going to put it in your face, right? I'm going to put it in your face and I'm going to see how you deal with it. And if you're a proactive person, you're going to overcome that. You do not lower the standard in your life. You just adjust the plan. That is proactive discipline. And proactivity has this equivalence with ownership. Reactive people blame, proactive people own their mistakes. They don't say, I don't have time, I was busy, I wasn't motivated. They say, I didn't prioritize, I didn't plan, I need to adjust. And that's part of being a leader, right? Sometimes if you want to lead in the workplace, lead in your business, lead on the field, lead in the classroom, you have to take ownership for your mistakes, for your faults. And I don't expect you watching this video to be perfect either. But that level of ownership is uncomfortable. But at the end of the day, and over time, it's powerful. It removes those excuses from your head. And once excuses are removed from your mindset, from your daily habits, growth becomes predictable. You can see where you're going. And then you can look back and say, holy shit, like I grew so much this year, or I grew so much this month. It's very goal dependent. But the point is, you need to be proactive and you need to change your mindset. And especially becoming a first form ambassador, legionnaire, this is something I really respect about their culture. They don't give a shit that you're the fucking best out there. They don't give a shit that you are the strongest. What they give a shit about is you and what you're representing as your brand. And it's not about the product, it's about the person. Right? My goal is to help people. That's the goal of Reset, my business. But proactive people, they talk about earning it, not waiting for it, not wishing for it. And earning it requires initiative. It requires proactivity. And another great benefit of proactive thinking is the stress reduction you'll see day to day, month to month. But here's something people don't realize. Here's something people don't comprehend. It lowers your stress, right? It reduces your stress because when you prepare early, you're not cramming, you're not scrambling, you're not constantly having to catch back up. And being ahead of the game and being ahead of others builds confidence. At the end of the day, we need more confident men in this generation. We all struggle with it. We all have dubious and doubtful thoughts. But when I sit down on a Saturday morning to do my homework before my workout and before a whole day of editing, I'm not reacting to panic. I'm creating margin, and that margin compounds over time. And at some point in your life, and I would say for you watching this video, I mean, you may be doing good with your goals, you may be doing bad with your goals, but you need to shift your identity. I don't mean completely change your personality. What I mean is change your thought process over time through little things, through little wins and building of discipline. Because at some point, this stops being about monotonous everyday tasks. It becomes about, like I mentioned, your identity. Are you someone who reacts? Or are you someone who initiates? Proactive people don't need constant motivation. They need structures, they build their own systems, they schedule the work, they plan their workouts, and they're the ones taking the first step over the finish line. Winners don't wait for momentum, they create it. So I want to end with this today. Here's a question I want you to ask yourself every single day. Where in your life are you reacting right now? Is it in your training, studies, business, maybe your habits? And these habits can be really small. What would it look like for you to move first? To decide before emotion shows up or dictates your external environment? To adjust instead of quit? And one thing I'll say, and this is the biggest misconception, proactive living isn't loud. It's quiet, structured, and consistent. And over time, it's going to separate people in ways you can't fake. You can't wait for the perfect moment. You have to create it. Be proactive, not reactive. If you guys like today's podcast episode, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Share it to someone who needs to hear it. And I'll end with this, guys. Obsession is going to beat talent every day. So keep being obsessed and keep being proactive. Peace.